one of the biggest questions that I get all the time, pretty much almost daily, is how do you set up these income plans specifically? What do you do in order to create a hedge for inflation in my income when I'm going through retirement? At 65, I want to have a plan that's still going to be in place when I'm 95, when I'm potentially 105 with advancements nowadays. How do I set this up? So I'm going to go into detail on exactly how I set these up and how it works. First, again, you hear me say this all the time. My book, Safe Money Retirement, Your Game Plan for Success. We will send you a free copy for being a listener. Just give us a call, 833-413-SAFE, or simply log on to our website, safemoneyretirement.com. Not only can you get a free book, that site is relatively new. I just redid it about a month or a month and a half ago, and all kinds of great information, articles and stuff from all over the place. So make sure you check that out. All right. Now, how do I set these up? Here's what we do. The very first thing we do is we have to figure out where we're at now. I know that sounds, of course, but really we need to, no filters. We need to figure out where are you now with your expenses. And we need to determine what are your expenses going to be in retirement. Do we want to plan for the same amount you have now? Or is there a different amount that we want to plan for in retirement? And make sure we figure out what that is and give yourself a little bit of leeway. If you think you might need, well, I would think we need about, $2,824 a month. Okay, let's go for $3,000, and that's net. So we actually need more if it's coming from pre-tax type of accounts like IRAs, 401s, TSPs, those kind of things. So that's what we do first. That's your floor. And what we do is we set up a guaranteed lifetime income annuity that will pay you and your spouse if we set it up that way. It depends on the situation. Again, we'll talk specifically as to whether you want just yourself covered or you and your spouse. But that's the very first thing we do is we create your floor by figuring out where are you going to be at retirement. For some people, that's 65. For some people, that's 52. For some people, that's 74. Whatever it is, and whenever it is, because we try to plan this a little beforehand because we have plans that have guaranteed growth up to the point that you turn on the income, guaranteed growth in the income account until you turn that on. We've got plans like that. So even if you're 15 years out, this is a perfect time to set up something because you can put an amount in there. It's guaranteed. It's never going to go down due to any market loss, and it's guaranteed to grow at X% until you turn it on in the future. And then we turn it on, and then that amount is your floor. That's the amount that you've got to have every single month. That's what we've got to have in guaranteed income, not if-come. And we plan that out then. So the next thing that we do is we figure out, okay, that's what you need initially. This is what you need for the first, let's say 10 years, 5 to 10 years. We plan, again, with each person it's different. But let's just say 10, let's make it easy. So from 65 to 75, we'll just use an average case. So let's say you retire at 65 to 75, how much income do we need? Now you still will get increases whenever you turn on Social Security in what they call the COLA, the cost of living adjustment. You'll get that every single year, so you will get a little bit more every single year. But most of that, a lot of that at least, is going to be offset by the increases in Medicare premiums. So you're not going to really see a whole huge difference. But hopefully you would be okay. And like I said, we would build in some leeway. And plus, you're still going to have some other assets that you can pull from if you just need a little bit for this or that. So we do that. But then we need to have a plan for the next phase and for where things may be 5 or 10 years in the future, 15 years in the future, when you need some more money because of inflation or because extra medical expenses or because of helping a grandchild through college or whatever it is for you. We have other income accounts then that we can turn on in the future. And just like your initial account, your initial flooring account, that we, basically just project out and figure out, okay, when you retire at X date, we need X dollars. So let's, we plan that out. Here's how much we need to put into it. We get it going, great. And then once you get to that point, we turn on the income. Guaranteed as long as you're breathing, and if we set it up properly, as long as you and your spouse are breathing. So that takes care of your floor. But then we also need some that's going to continue to grow even past that. That's what I'm talking about as far as the time segmentation part of this is we're actually building on that by putting another smaller plan. So here, let me just give you a basic example. Let's say someone we determined how much they needed, and let's say they had a total portfolio of $500,000 just to make it easy. And let's say we determined we needed $300,000 in a plan to get them the guaranteed income that they need at their retirement date. Great. Well, then what we could do, we do that one, and we know that's going to be set when you get there. So great, that's done. You can relieve that stress. But then what we can do is instead of just doing everything in one other type of plan, we can do, I've done this before, so I'm just going to give you this example, 4 $50,000 plans, because they can continue to grow after you turn on the initial 300. Those other 450s can just keep growing, keep growing, keep growing. Well, 8 years down the road, you need a little bit more money, turn one on, but then you've still got the 3 growing. And then 5 years after that, you need a little bit more money, turn another one on. It gives you that ability to constantly increase your income. And the good thing about all of these is if you have some and say you don't ever turn it on, great, you don't ever need it, everything that's left in that account will go to whoever you name as your beneficiary. So these are really great plans. They really solve the problem of income in retirement, and they're absolutely the safest way that I know of to solve that problem. I mean, there are other ways that you can solve it. You can just take money out and hope it's going to work. But this is the way that you can guarantee with our ironclad guarantees from top-rated life insurance companies, some of them that have been around literally since the 1800s that I deal with. And they can, get you that guaranteed income, get you that peace of mind, get you how much you need at retirement, which could be now, it could be 10 years in the future, it could be 30 years in the future, whatever. The longer the better, because you're getting guaranteed growth. I mean, if you had someone that was in their, say, 40s right now and could put money in and just let it grow guaranteed for 20 years, you wouldn't believe how much income you can get in 20 years when stuff compounds. I mean, it's one of the wonders of the world, it's been called, is compound interest. But anyway, that's how that's kind of the nitty gritty of how this works. Again, I cover it very deeply in my book, Safe Money Retirement, Your Game Plan for Success. So if you get a chance, get a copy of the book. I go really deep into how I do this, but that's the overview. We get one plan that's going to take care of your floor. Then we get some other plans that continue to grow to be able to offset inflation in the future. And again, this is what gets you guaranteed income in future, not IFCOM.
The preceding information does not represent tax, legal, or investment advice. Surrender charges apply to base contracts. Optional lifetime income benefit riders are used to calculate lifetime payments only and are not available for cash surrender or in a death benefit unless specified in the annuity contract. Fees may apply. Guarantees are based on the financial strength and claims-paying ability of the insurance company. No information presented today should be acted upon without meeting with a qualified and licensed professional. Obviously, by calling us now, you are just taking the first step towards protecting your retirement. It's important that you read all insurance contract disclosures carefully before making a purchase decision. Rates and returns mentioned on this program are subject to change without notice.